Hello, my name is Drew Pickles, and once again I am really fucking pissed off, as you can clearly see. And you may be wondering as to the reason why I am once again really fucking pissed off. Well, it's because YouTube has become super fucking unbearable lately. Every single time a new Drew Pickles video is uploaded, it literally gets hit with an age restriction by its god-awful and dare I say broken and downright draconian community guidelines. It doesn't matter what the video has, but quite frankly it hurts viewership and goes to show that they are completely out of control. Now Iron Yoshi isn't one to care about viewership in the slightest, but it does leave a good feeling when you see a video reach 100 or more views in a short span of time, knowing that a lot of people actually enjoy what you put out. But how can they enjoy your work when the authoritative bastards at YouTube keep killing every single Drew Pickles or Barney Bunch video with an age restriction, meaning that you probably won't be able to watch them on certain devices, even if you had age restriction turned off? Iron Yoshi's videos used to hit up to 1K views in the span of a few weeks or even months, but now they are only reaching 300 views max, all because of YouTube's trigger-happy nature. You know, that video Iron Yoshi made that was about 6 seconds and consisted of me introducing myself. That was a test. A test to see if YouTube would actually age restrict the video, because I was in it. They haven't yet, but they did age restrict the 400 subscriber special a day after it was uploaded. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Or even worse, they'll take the video down for the most ridiculous and bullshit reasons or even terminate users. I already talked about how they were terminating beloved community members left and right a few months back, which is still a huge problem, but now it seems that YouTube is actually trying to purge the Barney Bunch and Speakonia community from the site. And do you wanna know the funny part? YouTube will leave out shit from awful channels like The Quartering, Logan Paul, Clonefish TV, Cheeks and Gamers, Quantum TV, and various other hacks who produce inappropriate or even downright hateful content, alongside videos such as animal abuse and sacrifices, school fights, political propaganda from both sides, because both sides are equally terrible, actual softcore porn, elseget crap, and literal hate speech, yet a still image of a character talking in a text-to-speech voice with explicit and funny dialogue is just too much for them to handle. YouTube has gotten so greedy and money hungry over the past few years, which is probably why those channels I listed are still up, because they generate that oh so sweet ad revenue for YouTube, which by the way the ads they keep shutting down our throats are fucking annoying too, especially 15-second long ads you can't even skip, and that's why those channels continue to produce content that actually does more harm than any Barney Bunch video could. What's also really funny is that YouTube will actually age restrict a video that calls them out or makes fun of them in the slightest. Case in point, the video Iron Yoshi made, where I teach the community guidelines a lesson. They literally went out of their way to age restrict a video that both called them out on how broken their practices are and made fun of them in a satirical way. As YouTube is pretty sensitive and doesn't like it when people take issue with their shitty out-of-touch policies. And I have a suspicious feeling that they will age restrict this video too, despite the fact that I am not engaging in any super swell shenanigans. Iron Yoshi isn't one of those free speech and censorship talkers, but it feels like YouTube is trying to silence anyone who calls them out in their scummy practices, and it clearly shows. Also, can we discuss how retarded the checking feature during the upload process is? Who in their father-fucking minds thought that was a good idea? All it does is pad out more time in uploading a video, and even then it fails miserably at its job, since it says there's no issue with your video and then a few hours later you get hit with an age restriction. Talk about a waste of space. I know Iron Yoshi had ranted quite a few times about YouTube's god-awful community guidelines ad nauseum, but it's gotten unbearable this year alone. Iron Yoshi didn't mind it at first, since only a small few videos were hit, while the rest were left alone, but this year alone, it's gotten pretty bad. I'd say around April or May was when it finally became like an came out of hand. Videos would be age restricted in rows and don't even think that appealing would work, since 99.9% of the time it doesn't. I miss the good old days of YouTube, where they literally took the phrase broadcast yourself seriously, a place where people could post what they wanted without fear of it being age restricted or taken down, a time when the Barney Bunch and Speakonia community was at its golden years. Nowadays YouTube has become a draconian and authoritative wasteland that will hunt you down if you fall out of line. Thank Barney then that we do have various alternatives like the Internet Archive and Crackle. I'm not gonna count Vidly, since they have their own controversies at the moment, and the Speakonia community on there is pretty much dead there. Crackle has been a promising place, as Iron Yoshi was able to post all his Speakonia videos there without any incident and without them being restricted at all. It's like it's run by actual human beings and not a massive mindless drones lead by a dictatorist Karen. Granted, Iron Yoshi's videos don't rake in a ton of views on Crackle, but he'll take low viewership or age restriction any day. Sure, some people in Draco get pissy over the Barney Bunch being on there, but it's kind of the trade these days. Remember what if us newgrounds made when the Barney Bunch first appeared there? Anyway, that concludes my rant. Hopefully I won't have to talk about this subject any longer, but I'll probably make jokes about it just to take the piss out of YouTube. It probably won't change a thing, but it's good to vent. Anyway, I am going to go now. Barney and I are going to the park to have a lovely and swell picnic, if you know what I mean. Until next time, I am Drew Pickles, saying if YouTube age restricts this video, then that only proves my point that they refuse to accept criticism and actually fix the shit they themselves unleashed. See you later, my sexually stimulating studs, and YouTube can go fuck itself, or maybe I should be the one to fuck them.